I want to do a little bit differently. I'm going to go ahead and show the entire process. This part's not been set up at all. I'm going to show the entire setup and all the Tormach Conversational, so maybe a little bit longer of a video, but I'll trim it down as much as I can. As you can see here, we have, I believe this is the latest version of Post-it CAD, but this is the part we're going to make. It's 1 inch long, 1 inch OD, half-inch hole down the center. I've been asked before to publish tolerances. As you can see, there aren't any here, but you know, definitely within plus or minus 5, but you know, we try to keep them within a couple of thou. Okay, here I'm roughly setting my Z. What I consider roughly setting my Z is that I set my Z just to the left of the end of the part. That way I can be assured when I cut the part at 0 that it's going to take off a little bit of material. In almost every lathe job, you start off with facing the part off, so that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to call this spacer 1. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set this to 1 inch using tool 8. We're going to set the Z start 50 thou out in case the bar puller pulls it a little more or less. You can see all the feeds and speeds here. We're going to save the file out. Okay, now what we're going to do is open that file and conversationally edit that file and insert steps from here. Go ahead and select the OD turn. Okay, the initial X is going to be 1 inch. The Z end is actually 1, but I like to turn it down a little more, so I have it at 1.1. Okay, now on the final X, we're just trying to clean the outside surface of this, so we're only going to try to take off like 5 thou. So the final is going to be 0.0995. Here are all the settings, feeds and speeds. Now all you have to do is hit insert and the OD turn is done. Okay, go ahead and save that. Insert another step. This is going to be a chamfer. We want to start this at 0 and go back about 34 thou. The initial X is 0.995, 45 degree, and here are all the other settings. Go ahead and insert. Let's go ahead and rename this to facing. Duplicate the facing up, move it down. Okay, this is just a face cleanup, so we're going to go ahead and just set that at 0. I think the only thing we need to do is part it off now, so let's go ahead and insert that. Go to part, inch. For the back chamfer to actually make sense, if this was a critical dimension there. Z start 1 inch back, part it, tool 6. Here's all the settings I'm using. Alright, the only thing I'm not doing right now is the bar puller. We'll get to that here in a minute. Okay, so let's reload it. Pause this video because okay, so it's complaining about that. It's probably something to do with the I haven't set the tool length for the parting tool 6 yet, so I'm guessing that's what that is. So we still got to set the parting tool. All the links for our other tools are based off of tool 8, so those should all be close, if not right. And we're gonna actually end up adding, let's just do it now. We're gonna add a tool 14 is the countersink on the little chamfer on the end. So all that should be good. Let's insert that. Move it up because obviously that should happen before we part. Oh shit! I missed the drilling. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that. Alright, so we still got to drill, so we're going to insert step, drill, go to center drill, that's all good. It's 250. center. Okay, so face, OD, chamfer, center drill, 5 to drill it, negative 1.2, 1.5. I like to drill a little deeper so when I part through, it's parting through nothing there, and the backside's easier to clean up. Okay, so that's our drill. Center drill, chamfer the drill, face, hit clean, and then parting. I believe that's all we have for now. I do need to set the parting tool still though, and I think that's what this is complaining about. Alright, we'll find out. So we're going to tell the tools to go home to get away from the part. Alright, most everything's set up except for tool 6, the parting tool. And here's something else we need to do. We need to set our little gauge depth in case we need to come back to this at some point. That'll also help us with the bar puller to see how far out we're needing to pull as a reference as to where we started. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and set the M1 brake because after facing it, we're going to need to come in and set the parting tool, at least roughly. So here we go. Run it slow just to make sure nothing, since it gave me an error, to make sure this isn't the tool that was erroring about. Nope. Go there. Get to full speed. Take another pass here. I like to set my Z0 just to the left of the actual 0 of the part. For instance, I'll bring my tool 8, which is my facing tool, I'll bring it up to the edge of the part and then move it back 20 or 30 thou to the left, and then I'll call that my 0. So, and then when I start my facing op, I'll start it out, say, 50 thou to the right, and then work my way back to 0, so that my tool 8, my facing op, always ends at 0. And then I reference all my tools from there. Okay, we just faced it, OD turned it, and now we're putting the small chamfer on the thing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the program now. Completely stop it, change to tool 6. Until it grabs the paper. Now, earlier I set my Z down here. We don't want to do that now. That is only for setting the Z for tool 8 or your main tool, and all your other tools will reference off of that. So, this is where 8, well, this is where it thinks it is now. I'm going to touch Z up here. It's going to say, okay, I'm at 0. That 0 is a set distance from tool 8's 0. So whenever you move tool 8's 0, this 0 stays that set distance away from tool 8's 0. Okay, I just realized this job's only going to be 15 parts, so I'm not even going to bother setting up the bar puller. Alright, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and set the bar puller because this stock's kind of hard to pull out. The collet's pretty tight. So here's how I do it. I basically bring the tool in, which is tool 3. It's not super important, doesn't take much, but I'm going to grab it about halfway. So basically I'm going to set my Z for that tool there. I'm not going to show you again. It's the same. You do it at the top, not the bottom. There's a G-code. I'm just changing basically how far back it's going to pull. I'll show you how I got this number here in a minute. But we're going to start with 1.2. And like I said, I'll show you how I got that number. So that's what I'm going to set, and we'll see what happens. Okay, that's pretty darn close to where we want to be. So like I said, it's a little bit over, but that extra 50 thou we gave should be okay on that. Let's check it out. Let's restart the program.